One second. Okay, I'm back. Hello. Hi, everybody. Um, Hope you guys are doing well this wonderful evening. I had to get some water, so I'm gonna drink it. Um, how's everybody doing? It's Sunday. I don't really have anything planned for today. I'm working on this deck, musty deck, for next week. That isn't Hey Exis, What's on Your Mind, collection of pop culture takes that I have. But it's near and dear to my heart, and I want to make sure that my point is coming across. So I was working on that today, and I was like, okay, I can finally present the deck. I can probably finally showcase to you guys this project I was working on, right? And then I fell flat on the story, so I'm probably gonna have to go back and rework some things, and it'll probably be ready by next week because I'm like halfway done. But I have a lot to say. I do. But outside of that, I think today is just going to be a pretty chill stream. It probably won't be a long one. I might just do some gaming and yap with you guys. And then I'll send you guys on your way to enjoy the rest of your week. I am like 50 minutes late. I understand and I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to work on coming on here in a timely manner, but yeah, it can be difficult sometimes. Now I really don't have any excuses because I'm not in the workforce, but you know, sometimes it can be a lot. So, good news with that though, a recruiter is calling me tomorrow. And so we're gonna talk about some roles in the area, and so that's good. I also messaged my old boss. I showed her what my hair looks like because the running joke at my old job was I never comb my hair. Like I don't comb my hair, I don't brush it, I don't do anything to it, I don't even put a wig on top of it. I just show up to work like I rolled out of bed. And she'd always make fun of me for it. Not like respectability, like, you know, you're representing me, you need to comb your hair, just like why don't you comb your hair? You know what I mean? And so I was telling her, well, the reason why I don't really style my hair as much and put a lot of product in it is because I'm growing it out. And she didn't believe me. And I sent her a picture of like how my hair looks now. She was like, oh, it looks fine. And then I asked her how she was doing, and she said, horrible. She said that she misses me, and the current co-worker that has taken my spot is doing a horrible job. um, And in all honesty, I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like these companies want to keep on swapping out workers, transitioning workers to cut costs. I wonder if they ever consider just giving people a pay cut so that at least they can keep their job. Like a pay cut is unfair as well, but it's better than like not having a job. And I think the biggest issue that she's probably having is that I feel like she's looking for a coworker that has the quality and skills of somebody that is working at like a FANG tech company, so like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Meta, you know what I mean? And I don't think you'll be able to find that type of talent for the amount of salary that people are being given. Like people who are like worse than me are probably getting paid way more than I got paid at that job. And really, I just took that job out of desperation. I learned a lot, but I took that job out of desperation. But honestly, it seems like because it's a running issue that the new set of workers that she is working with are not up to her standard, right? And maybe it's because they're looking for something completely different in the field that I'm in, that like currently the individuals who are in my field don't like have or don't have to uphold. Maybe it's that, I don't know. But it also might be your asking price or the company's asking price is like they're on the low end and you're expecting someone to be a literal rock star for a fraction of the cost. Like you want rock star talent for like a little under like rock star salary. You know what I mean? Like so I think that's the issue that she's probably gonna run into, or that company is running into. It's like you're not gonna get like super quality work, high end people if you're not paying them their worth. And then on top of that, the quality high end people that you want to afford, that you want to like bring on, they're probably not gonna work at that company anyway. You know what I mean? But that's the last time I checked in with that job, and I'm kind of over it, over that job. I think I got everything I needed from it. I got a recommendation. I don't know. When it comes to corporate America, I'm like very cutthroat. Like I don't care. I don't care as much. I really don't, because at the end of the day, I'm there to network and I'm there to get a role and I'm there to get the money that I am entitled and have the skills and expertise to be compensated for. Like that's all I care about. I could care less about like if we're a family and friendships, and no, I don't. Like it's just networking, okay? It's like the corporate American system is already so grody as it is. I'm not about to sit up here and sacrifice and put my life on the line and my well-being for a company who could literally let me go in like 2 weeks and give no fucks about it. But again, it's also the sign of the times and what we're kind of going through currently, economically, politically, culturally. People don't know how the tariffs are working. Oh yeah, Cole, you're in HR? Oh my god. Yeah, don't fall for the friends and family crap. It's a crock of shit. It's a crock of shit. Also, because why everyone in upper management look blonde and white? Exactly. And sometimes, I mean, I really hate to say it, but sometimes, like, because of the nature of corporate America, it sometimes do be your own a little bit. Like, it be your own a little bit sometimes. Turn the AC up. It's snowing in here. You want me to turn the AC up? Oh, I'm confused. I get it. Turn the AC up. It's snowing over here, meaning it's too many white people. That's funny. Yeah, it's not friends and family. Even like with management, there was a commentator who was talking about like they used to work in corporate and they were like girl boss, you know what I mean? And they like flat out said on TikTok like I had to get out of that shit because the way it is so soul crushing, the way like the corporate millennial aesthetic is just not what it seems, the way it's just you know, fake as fuck. Like I had to get away with it. I think she was referencing another TikToker who was very like corporate millennial coded. Like from the micromanaging to the, you know, I relate. Something I'm also realizing as well is that for whatever reason, millennials that are like 10 years older than me have a problem with me. Like I don't know. Like I'm 31, so anybody who is like 41 and up or like 40 plus, like it just seems like they have an issue. Like they always feel like they have to sun me in some way. And that shit gets really, really annoying. Like people like forget, and I think it's because of how I present myself. Ooh, which will probably bring me to my next topic that I can talk about. Because I'm very like, you know, innocent and demure, and I'm very code switchy. I code switch depending on the occasion, right? And also when it comes to work, I will switch my personalities in order to get people to like me. Because I'm not like you might think we're all friends and family, but we're really not. Like I'm here for a job, I'm here for work, I'm here to collect a paycheck, and 9 times out of 10, the workers that stay are the people that you actually like, not the people who are actually good at their jobs. So, you know, and then even just like growing up where I did, you know, growing up in white suburbia and being up, like going to like private Catholic schools, like up until I was in high school. Senior year of high school, and then even interacting with my own family, I have felt like I had to code switch a lot. Like I don't think a lot of people outside of like my super close friends and maybe my boyfriend really know who I am as a person because I'm just giving people different versions of myself and I'm not moving in authenticity. And so I feel like in this case with my last job, it felt like I was trying to play the role of like innocent, ooh, you know, I'm a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed coworker. You know, meanwhile, because I knew that my boss really liked to teach people, right? And I just let her teach me things that I've been known. I let her teach me about things that I've been known for like years because I went to art school and they told me the same damn things that she was telling me. But it's just like, you know, she wants a certain standard of work. She wants a certain quality of work that I would argue is very different than what like my role was asking for. And so I guess she felt moved to, you know, take me under her wing. And the mentorship is nice, but like I said, no more mentors. No more mentors, and now I have unspoken beef with people who are like a decade older than me. Like I do. It's like an ageist thing. Like the last person that was like a decade older than me was a fucking creep, and he was a part of the cosplay community. You know, I recorded a whole video on YouTube about this, and I never ended up posting it because I like lost confidence. But he was a weirdo. He was like on that Kevin Samuels shit before Kevin Samuels got popular. That's when I should have known a pipeline was coming down the road because the way he would talk about women, especially black women, that would not give them access to him, or give him access, you know, he was a weirdo. And he'd always like bring it back to how old he was, that he was like 10 years older than us, or that he's old and we're young, he's old and we're young, y'all don't know anything about that. And it was just like, bro, like then go hang out with people your age, nigga. Like what the fuck, like you're being a weirdo, like you're being a creep, and then you constantly are plotting on like girls 10, 15 years younger than you, nigga. Like the fuck. Like anyway, Cole says, I'm an HR consultant. I do investigations and help with compliance, employee relations, etc. I like the work, but not corporate. I just want to be a creative. Yeah, I want to be a creative too. I think I'll probably do 5 more years of corporate and then look into consulting. The dream is to be a content creator, you know. But I'll admit I'm not pushing myself the way I need to in order to be seen. I could be more consistent on other platforms outside of YouTube. And also content creation is such a volatile. It's such a volatile industry. Like it. Okay, let me write some things down because I have a lot to talk about. So the first thing one of the things I want to cover is: are you a cutie patootie? Or are you code switching? And this was inspired by a TikTok that someone made, talking about girls who identify as being a cutie patootie or a baddie and how that trickles into their personality, that I really wanted to cover because I like my cute girls. I rocks with the cute girls, and I rocks with the baddies. Okay. And then another thing I want to talk about is content creation and downfall. And I want to talk about DoorDash. You guys know who DoorDash is? Cole, do you know who DoorDash is? DoorDash is a content creator who I guess took off a couple months ago with her inspirational videos in her car. I would just hear about her in passing. It's the same way I hear about Kelly Stamps in passing when she was on the up and up in like 2020, but I would hear about DoorDash in passing. And I'd be like, oh, that's nice. And then I just move on about my day. But it was like the exponential growth phenomenon that Kelly Stamps kind of had, where like nobody knew her, and then she got discovered, and then she just skyrocketed, right? Like her career just took off. It was the same thing that happened with DoorDash. It's like she just kept making video after video after video. Same format, honestly, which I'll get into. And then her career like on YouTube skyrocketed, and then everyone was like, what you can learn about DoorDash, 5 things that DoorDash does correctly, the reason why DoorDash is blowing up, similar to how Kelly Stamps blew up as well. What was interesting though is that not a lot of people are talking about DoorDash that much. DoorDash has made her money on YouTube, but apparently, from what I hear through the grapevine, especially from her fans, a lot of her content is repetitive. A lot of the content is no longer relatable or inauthentic, which I really want to unpack that, right? Lack of authenticity, and now she is asking her audience for like upfront money for like a business, like a hair care business that she's doing for pre-orders, and there may or may not be talks of her not having enough product for how many people are giving her money for the pre-orders, right? And so a couple things here. It's cool to see different types of people from all walks of life take off on YouTube and become content creators or just like blow up, you know, like it's awesome. From the Risa Tisas to the Kelly Stamps to the DoorDashes, right? That's very, very cool to see. However, I think where a lot of people fail is one couple things. One, not understanding the balance of authenticity versus relatability, or more or less like deciding whether or not your content should be relatable or if it should be authentic. I'm personally of the belief that your content should always be authentic first, because that aspect, that relatability aspect of your content will no longer hold true if you grow exponentially, if you blow up, if you're making a buttload of money and are now in like the 100K, 250K range of content creator salary. Like you're no longer relatable to the average, viewer. So it gets very dangerous when you push and move in relatability, which I think is what DoorDash was trying to do. And why a lot of people are like critical of her, and why a lot of people are like no longer impressed with the same formulaic in my car giving you a speech, do this now if you want to be successful. That's another thing, because I also noticed Kelly Stamps did that as well. Like 5 things you need to do to be a YouTuber, or another one was quit your full-time job. Quit your full-time job and become a YouTuber right now. Okay. If nobody's going to tell you this, let me be the one to tell you. Whatever you do, if you are an aspiring content creator or you're getting it in the mud right now and you're working at being a content creator, if you have a substantial following, if you don't have a substantial following, please, 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 whatever you do not quit your job. Do not quit your job and put all your eggs in becoming a content creator. You should only quit your day job if you are making 3 times the amount of what you are working at your regular 9 to 5. And even then, you should have a hefty savings of at least 6 months to a year. Not even 6 months, bro. This economy's ghetto, okay? You need like a year of savings just in case it doesn't pan out the way you want it to, okay? Like, let's be so FFR. I am sick and tired of the creators, and it's predatory content, right? It's easy content because like people want to see other folks talk about their success stories of becoming a content creator, and some people do this in really, like, they do this in really, really good faith. Like, there was an artist who was teaching other artists how to grow on YouTube and selling courses. I'm a little bit iffy on courses, but like, heart's in the right place, right? Because it is incredibly difficult, especially now with the influx of AI art, to find work as an artist. Okay, but a lot of creators, especially successful ones, when they've finally taken off, go to talking about the 5, the 10, the 15 things I did to become a successful content creator, how to get your first 1,000 followers, how to get monetized, or the notorious quit your job and become a content creator right now. Do not quit your job. Don't do that, okay? I've said this before, but not everyone is going to have the same success as a Kai Cenat, as a Drewski, okay? And they most definitely will probably not have the same amount of success as a Dodash. You should also be very careful. I'm personally very careful of content creators who have, I know Dodash was working at this for like 8 years and then finally she took off, right? But like creators who, you know, they just started content creation like 2-3 years ago, and maybe the content is really good, but all of a sudden they're just taking off, like just, you know. And it might be because they're consistent, their content's really good, they work really hard at what they do, which, like, that's fine, I'm okay with that. But like people who like randomly take off, like they just like upward curve and it's not like a steady climb up where you're like genuinely building community, worry about those content creators, because it's going to be really difficult to figure out who your day ones are, and like playing that balance of giving content that your viewers want to see versus giving content of giving them content of what you want to see or do. You know what I mean? So what's happening with Dodash right now isn't surprising, because I have seen that a lot of her content looks incredibly repetitive. The storytelling is the same. However, you know, my storytelling format is the same, and you know, I only have like 600 subscribers, so it's whatever. She's doing something right, until people started coming out and saying, hey, this is getting a little repetitive. Hey, this is getting a little annoying. Hey, it's like you're almost selling things to us every single video. Hey, like, what's going on? I want to see variety. Hey, you're doing this day in the life, but like realistic day in the life, but you're like purposefully setting up your camera in like every single room, and like we know this isn't like a realistic day in the life. This is just like a glorified vlog. You know what I mean? So now people are seeing that like Dodash isn't as, you know, entertaining as they once thought she was. And I think it's a couple of reasons. I think she pulled herself into the pocket of being relatable, instead of putting herself in the pocket of being entertaining and moving in authenticity, um, instead of trying to follow a formula. A lot of people are going to get tired of you telling them to quit their 9 to 5 to become a content creator. Like, what do you have to say about the world? Like, what's going on in the world now? And I imagine she has like some commentary out there about what's going on in the world right now, and like issues that are going on in life lessons that she has. But when people can see or feel like it's not genuine, they start to separate themselves from your content. You know what I mean? And so now some creators, and it's interesting, it's creators like in their like late 30s, early 40s, who are like, who, you know, DoorDash's demographic, who are like, girl, stop, you're over here saying, you know, quit your job, but then you're here with your hand out asking us to buy pre-orders for a product you don't have enough ingredients for, with the money that we use to work a 9 to 5. Like, chill. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I get it, that's weird, I hate that mentality. Forever and always, I would like to be the creator that tells you, do not quit your fucking 9 to 5. And shout out to the 9 to 5 baddies out there, bad bitches, okay? And keep your job, okay? Don't keep your job, even if you can be a full-time content creator, okay? Just keep it, please, or like keep it in your arsenal as a stream of income with skills that you need to use. Hey, even though I don't feel like going. Hi. But yeah, keep your full-time job. To my 9 to 5 tomorrow. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, D. Keep your full-time job. Keep it. Okay? Go to work. I envy 9 to 5ers right now because I don't really have a job right now, so, but I'm still looking. But like, again, even if you make enough money to be a full-time creator, it's better to have those skills and brush up on those skills just in case some shit happens. Another thing people don't realize is that you, like, as much as people like to sit up here on these platforms and say that they're business owners and entrepreneurs, and there are some people out here who are truly entrepreneurs, they LLC'd their brand name, they have their own media companies, they have their own business where they divvy out, or their own like team where they divvy out paychecks and whatnot. Y'all are still like employees under YouTube. Y'all are still employees under TikTok. Y'all are still employees under these like social media platforms. So you're not like a real entrepreneur unless you're doing like entrepreneur type shit, unless you're getting that LLC in, unless you're starting a media company, a team, you're working out royalty checks, right? Like I think T.S. Madison was able to work out like a royalty check with Beyonce for the one blurb words that she said in Beyonce's Cozy song, that sample, right? How much you want to bet that a lot of content creators don't even know how to do that, or don't even have the resources to do that? You know what I mean? It's like there's a difference between people who are feeling themselves on YouTube because, and on social media, because they got all these followers who are willing to like give them money and willing to support them, right? Versus people who actually have like a business mindset and are looking at things like, okay, I need an LLC, I need to start a media company, I need to put people on payroll, like I can't just do this all by myself. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between the two, and it clearly shows. And I noticed that the ones who always yell and bitch and moan about like free speech, YouTube is violating my free speech, right, are the ones who don't realize that they're still working under like the YouTube terms and conditions, under the TikTok terms and conditions, under you know, the Instagram, Twitter terms and conditions. Like they're not violating your free speech, you're literally working for them. It's like you walking into work and saying a bunch of racial slurs and not expecting to get fired, because that company knows that if they keep you in there saying all types of racial slurs, free speech or not, folks are not going to want to come to the company, right? Like look at Target. Didn't Target lose like $12 billion when they decided to pull back from a lot of small POC business owner owned products? Like, let's just be for real here. Let's just be for real here. Okay? Like, let's just be for real. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Okay? Like, um, a lot of people need to realize that while YouTube and content creation can pay the bills, um, you you don't have free reign to do whatever you want, and you better be fitting in those guidelines, right? Kelly Stamps is interesting because again, that's another creator that I never really watched, but I felt like she was necessary, especially um in the era of like the lip glosses. If you guys don't know who Lip Gloss is, she was this content creator on TikTok who had some very like genuinely honest takes about being a dark skinned black girl and dating and relationships and you know interracial dating and all of that. One thing she said is that like her 4C hair texture just out with her not doing anything attracts white men, and I as somebody who is dated interracially, I absolutely agree. Like white dudes do love that shit, and I think degenerate Twitter took off on her or blew up on her and like started to use her photos on dating apps to see if black men would pick her just to try and prove a point. But it's like she was being honest, and she's right. Like the darker you are and the more your phenotype is aligned with blackness, the more difficult it could be for you to date monoracially, okay? Because of the anti-blackness and all, you know, like, and this is coming from somebody who isn't like, I'm not anti-black, okay? I support black people over here, men, women, all of that. But like, it's time to have an honest conversation. And Lip Gloss was having those conversations, and I think Kelly Stamps kind of fit in that role a bit, because she didn't have the baddie aesthetic really. She didn't even have cutie patootie. She just had like dry humor. You know what I mean? And just dry, and she would be honest about like, yeah, I'm still pressing my hair because I don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna go get this Brazilian keratin treatment and chemically straighten my hair. Do I agree with chemically straightening your hair? No, but can I relate to like a black girl being incredibly tired with dealing with their hair all the time and just wanting to get it straightened? Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's your life. Like I'm like, you know, and that's honest instead of like the fake like kumbaya BS. You know, love yourself, sister. Wear your hair in your natural. Meanwhile, a lot of the folks aren't even checking for the girl wearing her hair in her natural unless it's closer to like a 4A, 4B, or a 3 hair texture. So like, yeah, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. So I think for me, seeing that representation of like a dry humored black girl who felt very like brutally honest about like her experiences as a POC woman, especially dating in New York. I thought that she was pretty interesting. I just never really like grasped onto her content. I knew that she was entertaining and she could tell a story very well. I would argue she could tell a story much better than Dodash could, right? And she could do vlogging very well as well. But what ended up happening is as soon as she got like a tech boyfriend, I don't even know if they're married. Like she did this huge conservative shit. Like she went whole red pill. And then she came out with like senpai stamps, and I should have saw the signs. Because I would see her videos be recommended on my algorithm, and it said something. The title for like her self-titled Kelly Stamps channel was "I am going through a spiritual warfare." And I don't know about you, but anytime somebody says that they're going through some semblance of a spiritual warfare, we're entering the territory in the realm of possible spiritual psychosis or hyper-conservative shit, one of the two. And then after that, she started her new channel called Senpai Stamps. And then I remember the title of the channel, like the blurb and the description was, you know, sharing my Christian values, you know, and I was like, oh, okay, so she's a Christian, that's fine. I think that she is doing the Christian rebrand a lot healthier than someone like Gideon. Okay, let me put things into context, because like I'm just yapping. Y'all need to see what I'm talking about. You need to see, you need to feel what I'm talking about. You need to understand. Gideon. Okay. So this guy did like a Christian rebrand too, right? And he used to be a prank YouTuber, which I think are the worst type of YouTubers, where they just shove a camera up in front of your face, up in front of random people's faces, and then use their and get like their commentary or their reaction to you shoving a camera in their face for content that you get paid off of, but they don't get paid for. So I don't like those content creators. But then he did like a whole Christian rebrand, and he deleted every single video on his YouTube platform and just said, I Christian now, right? And I remember, I think it was Sean C who was like, nah, bro, this is whack. Like, I remember he was saying, like, no, this isn't cool. Like, I know you're apologizing to everybody, but, ooh, what is going on here? We know we're not police officers. Viral video of child predator sting in Indianapolis starts debate among prosecutors. YouTuber Gideon was in Indianapolis on July 22nd to confront an adult youth volleyball coach who was allegedly communicating with a 14-year-old. Okay, well that's to catch a predator, Gideon? Okay, interesting. Anyway, no. Anyway, I remember Sean C said that, Gideon should have just started a new YouTube channel and just did his Christian rebrand, or he should have just apologized to every single person he had in his YouTube video, give him some sort of compensation for how he harmed them in his prank vids, and then go about his day and do his Christian rebrand, right? So I say all that to say that where someone like a Gideon was just doing a stark rebrand of deleting everything and coming out as being Christian and doing Christian content, Kelly Stamps just started a new channel and had that main channel just be about Christian content and Christian-based values. And those content creators are the most annoying. Yeah, they are. And I don't know if you still live in Atlanta, but there was a group of those content creators who were harassing B. Simone, I think in our local Atlanta, or our local Atlanta Target, like the Target near me in Atlantic Station. I think they were harassing her, which was crazy. Not only were they harassing her, but they were also harassing like random women in the store. I was just thinking about that. I was like, girl, if you ever came up to me in a Target with a camera, I am running the opposite direction. And if you chase me down, I am hitting up the first security guard. I'm hitting up the employees. I'm gonna be like, this man is following me around with the camera. Get him out. Like, that is creepy. They followed B. Simone all the way to her car. Antagonizing her with the camera, being like, you fell off, you in love with the baby, you're whack, like just weirdo behavior. And people were dunking on her because we don't like B. Simone. She's a grifter, a cash grabby grifter, right? But like she's a woman, and like you, a fully grown man, stalking her out to her car and then putting a camera in her face. No, I would run the other way. I'd be like, get away from me. Security, get them out of here. Like, please. Like, leave me alone. That is terrifying. Like fully grown men harassing women in the name of clout. In the name of clout. You know what I mean? It's just weird. But Kelly Stamps started this YouTube channel called Christian Values. And I thought it was gonna be like very like introspective Bible study, John 3:14, you know, like that type of stuff where like this is the Bible verse of the day and or the video, and this is what it means to me, and then tie like some intricate storytelling around based off of that, right? Really, it was just like regurgitated red pill content. It was her saying, you know, I need to stay in the kitchen and be submissive, and you do too, and you must find a provider man like I did, because I'm a wealthy YouTuber who has the ability and the privileges and resources to find a wealthy billionaire tech bro to take care of me. But you can find that too if you just go meander around a bar somewhere alone. unfortunate. And then it went from, I heard her name drop someone by the name of Amir Odom, who is a gay conservative content creator, which is a buttload of oxymorons that I can't even, who is probably being paid by the White House to say half of the talking points he has. But then like the bio of her channel went from Christian based content, Christian conservative values to, or Christian values. It started off as Christian values to Christian conservative values. And that's when I was like, oh shit. and that's when she started falling off of my algorithm, because like I am not gonna listen to a wealthy YouTuber try to tell me to stay in the kitchen like she does and create YouTube content. Meanwhile, like she not even married, you know, which is gagging me. If you're gonna do the whole provider man trad wife life type of content, you need to be a wife. Okay, a wife. You don't need to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. Huh? No. What are we doing? Are you not embarrassed? Like, Jesus Christ. But like she did that little rebrand. And I haven't heard from her since. And I think she's found the following of conservative people that I guess will support her. But she was nowhere near as popular as she was during the pandemic. And again, that is a lesson in, like, I don't even think she had relatability as much as she had authenticity. But the problem with her is that her target audience wasn't going to support the conservative rebrand. Like, that just wasn't going to happen, right? Her target audience would probably like resonated with her because she was a single 20-something-year-old girl in downtown New York, which is a pretty like liberal and progressive mindset, right, of a town, trying to navigate the dating space. And so now, fast forward 5-7 years later, you are very wealthy. Like, you're no longer struggling like your audience is probably. You're able to go and travel, vlog, casually show all the expensive items that you've been able to pick up at, in these vlogs, and the expensive trips that you're able to go to, right? Then you were able to bag a wealthy man. Nothing wrong with that. Do what you do. And now you're rebranding yourself into like a divine feminine trad wife life content creator, and then want to rebrand your whole entire image based off of that. And like, girl, no, that's not the audience that you built. Right? And it was smart of her to do like a whole another YouTube channel where she was gonna do this shit instead of like doing it on her Kelly Stamps main channel. But it's just like, girl, I give it another 3 to 4 years before conservatism is out of style again. Hopefully. Hopefully. If they don't shove it down our throats like they've been doing it the past 3 or 4 years, because there's like more than enough information out to call all the conservative content creators, the conservative podcasters, the politicians, commentators. Some are even walking away, especially after the Epstein thing happened. A lot of folks are like, man, fuck this shit, right? But like, girl, like, what are you gonna do when that shit isn't cool anymore? And by that time, are you going to be married to your tech bro billionaire boyfriend? Because you are a stay-at-home girlfriend. Like, what the fuck is we doing? Stay-at-home girlfriend is diabolical. Diabolical. But I, again, was doing the same thing DoDash was doing, talking about how she grew as a YouTuber and how you can grow too, right? And all the things you need to do to grow as a YouTuber, when really it's just hard work and luck. Really, it's both of those things working in tandem with each other. If you can't find a niche, it's hard work and luck, right? And then after that, she just, became a trad wife girlfriend. And I haven't really heard from her content since, and it doesn't look like people are engaging with her like they used to. My belief is probably she got paid from that side to be saying the things that she does. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Republicans have a boatload of money to, like, throw in people's directions to get them to say what they want to hear. So, not surprised, but it's just like, when this is all said and done, and when the money well runs dry, or when you cash a check that your ass can't pay for, like, what is going to, or when you write a check that your ass can't when you write a check that your ass can't check, excuse me, where are you gonna go? Like, what happens? Are you gonna come crawling back and be like, I was in the sunken place? Like, I don't know. So that's another example of a content creator where their authenticity kind of just, like, fizzled out, and so, yeah, you want to be careful about that as a creator. You want to always move in authenticity first, I guess, and then move in, like, being entertaining and relatable second. I will let you all know right now, to the 2 viewers I have on YouTube and the 2 viewers I have on Twitch, let the record show that S has said that I am not relatable. She is not a relatable bitch, okay? You will not relate to me, all right? I'm letting you all know now. I'm grooming you and I'm priming you guys now to understand that I am not a relatable person. We don't have a lot in common, okay? I might have similar opinions to what you have and what you might agree with. You might resonate with me in some way, but, like, we are not besties. Okay, I love you down. I love all of you down who are here watching me, all right? Shout out to Cole and D West 18 for being here, but we are, like, we're not besties, you don't know me, I don't know you, and there might be a time where some of the content I show or the way I live my life, oh my God, Cole, don't cry. Don't cry, Cole. There might be a time where you no longer see me as relatable to you. Whether it happens outside of the YouTube space or whether it happens within the YouTube space where things change, where you won't see this busted up Adidas. Where is it? This Adidas box. This Adidas box back here, right? Like, I don't know. You might see me in, like, a 5-bedroom house, maybe. I don't know, But, like, I say all that to say that I'm trying very hard to move in authenticity. Like, this is who I am authentically, whether you like it or not. I am not trying to be relatable. Girl, is you cool? I'm cool, Cole. I'm cool, Cole. I'm just saying that, I'm just letting everybody know that I'm not trying to be relatable. I'm trying to be authentic. And so I always like to tell my audience that, like, I don't know you guys and you don't know me, and that doesn't mean that I don't like you guys. I love you guys down, but it's just like I'm trying to create boundaries from, like, a super parasocial relationship situation happening. You know what I mean? I hope you understand that. At the same time, I still love you. Like, I love you down, but it's just like when things get parasocial, things get weird. You know what I mean? I hope you understand, Cole. I love you down. You're still my number one. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm here for entertainment first, and if you resonate with me, that's cool. But there might come a time where you might no longer resonate with me, or I might do something that you don't like, or I might say something that you don't agree with. I'm like 28, you're so good. Yeah, that's why I say Cole. Cole said LeMayo, I'm like 28, you're so good. That's why I say this channel is rated B for bad bitches, because if you are under the age of 18 and you trying to follow me, girl, bye. Like, what are you doing? Like, go to school, get good grades, go to college. Like, Like, really? You should be watching me when you're like 21. Like, you should not be watching me between the ages of 18, 17 to like 20. Like, come on. Like, because the way the internet is so predatory towards kids, and the way creators can be predatory towards children, and the amount of content creators who just so casually talk to like 16-year-olds, like fully grown adults in their 40s, talking to 16-year-olds. That's how what's her name, Miranda Sings, got caught in trouble, because she got like, I ain't heard from her since. After that toxic gossip train nonsense with the ukulele that she was playing, when all that shit came out that she was grooming minors, I haven't heard from that woman since. And it's just weirdo behavior, you know? It's like you are willing to ruin your whole entire legacy off of grooming underage kids in the name of, well, it was the internet and it's a different time. No, bitch. No, it doesn't matter. You have to atone for your sins. But yeah, I try my best to just be myself and not try to be real, because like this isn't real. Like, I have like streaming lights and this microphone, and you know, I don't do this every day, so but yeah, that's that on that. Be careful with telling people to quit their 9-to-5s. Don't quit your 9-to-5 to be a creator. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So I think I'm gonna talk about now the cutie patootie, or are you code switching? Okay, so let me find the TikTok video, because there was a woman on here that did a very good job trying to communicate how some girls aren't really cutie patooties, how some girls are just are like cute or naturally cute. Some girls are just code switching as a form of protection so that they don't get perceived in the wrong way. And as a Black woman who was once a Black girl who grew up around different, like, who grew up in a lot of spaces where I felt like I couldn't be myself, I absolutely agree with this creator. I do. I agree with everything that she's saying. I've talked about this so many times, and I feel like sometimes when I talk about this, it doesn't get perceived in the way that I need it to. Because when I talk about things like girls who, like little Black girls who are adultified and called fast at a very young age, for how they're built, for wearing makeup, for wearing weave, though you really shouldn't put a weave in your kid's hair. You should just work on keeping it healthy. But like stuff like that, you know what I mean? I guess people think that I'm trying to like age up kids or like groom kids, and I'm not. I really am not. Like, I did this whole thing about like the Shirley dancer from Boots on the Ground, Miss Shirley, before I realized that her mom was pimping her out, right? But with Miss Shirley, a lot of people, grown men, were like, you know, the way she popping her leg, I don't like that. That there are weirdos out here. And it's like, bro, why are you even looking at her that way? She's a kid. Like, first of all, she's age appropriate, dancing to the Boots on the Ground dance, right? And like, you're just you're already planting seeds of us to adultify this 2-year-old girl that doesn't even know, like, she's just emulating a dance, you know what I mean? And I see this a lot with young Black girls, where before they even know how they're going to be perceived in the world and how they're going to be adultified and sexualized at a young age, they are immediately like adultified in the eyes of people that trust them, in front of grown men, in front of women, you know. And this isn't just Black girls too, it's like little Black boys as well. It happens with little Black boys. Little Billiam on YouTube did a great video essay about it, which I really think encapsulates some of the issues that Black boys go through, being adultified at a young age through grooming. But it's just unfortunate, because little things down to like straightening your baby's hair, right? Like straightening your baby's hair, and it's like, I don't want all that straight hair down her back. She looks grown. Like what? Like how is that grown? That's her hair on the back of her head. That's weird, you know? Well, I don't want my baby wearing nail polish. It looks grown. What? For me, it was straight hair, nail polish, um, makeup, which is like makeup for a lot of people, um, ear piercings. I didn't get my ears pierced until I was 11. It's just like weird things. And of course, growing up like in a Christian home, like there's that shroud of religion that's over it. But it's like you're already grooming your child, you know, body, because I couldn't get away with wearing certain outfits that the little white girls could wear growing up. You know what I mean? Because I was built differently. But it's just you planting these seeds in these young black girls to feel like their beauty is something to be feared. It's something to not embrace. It's something that is a danger to them and a danger and is dangerous for men that interact with them. Even though we know that a fully grown man interacting with a minor ass kid is in the wrong. But we'll make excuses for him. Like, how many times have we talked about making excuses for the weird uncle that touches on girls, little girls and little boys? And then we'll shit on the little girls and little boys who don't even know what they don't know what they don't know, right? But we'll keep the uncle there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit just pisses me off. And I think this video really kind of encapsulates like how I've moved in my life for a very long time before I just stopped giving a fuck. So I'm gonna play it. Maybe I can do not the floating player. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. Let's see if I can get the.
You're not a cutie patootie, you're just hiding. Because I've noticed, right, that all the girly pops who try to turn themselves on cutie patootie, it's a lot of like plus size black women who infantilize themselves out of fear because like you don't know how to interact with the world. And I'm not saying that that's everyone, but that's a lot of the girly pops I've seen who have decided that they are now cutie patooties. And
so I agree with her absolutely. The reason why I agree is because outside of black girls just naturally being adultified because of the bodies that they're in, because we live in a society that honors and respects and infantilizes white bodies, white women bodies a lot more than they infantilize black bodies, right? You being a black woman is already hard enough, but then you being black and plus size, you already have negative preconceived notions put on you, right? Like I remember my parents would look at certain girls, like little girls who are clearly like 13 and 14. Ooh, full segue back. The creepy like photographer dude that I knew who was like always trying to sun me all the time and was an absolute weirdo would even say stuff like, you know, some of the girls they're like 14 or 15, but they're not built that way, you know? Or even him like feeding after like Chloe Bailey when she just turned 18, which is weirdo behavior. Weirdo behavior. Absolutely weirdo behavior. But I say all that to say that like the bigger you are as a black woman, whether it's in height, whether it's in size, the more you are perceived as being more of an aggressor, unfortunately. The more you are perceived as being more of an adult or looking like more of an adult because there's quote unquote something in the food or you know that kid eats too much or something like that. And so a lot of us I feel like put on these cute facades or really lean into like the hyper femininity of it all and like the western standard of femininity in order to you know protect ourselves and in order to portray ourselves as approachable, I guess.
And cutie patootie is becoming shorthand for like I'm fat, but I'm still cute in the face. But what I also think is insane, even though I do from my soul understand where it comes from, is like this infantilization of the self that a lot of us plus size black women do. I no longer do it, but I used to do it, so I can keep it in others, and that's what's leading to this like cutie patootie discourse in the first place. It is safer to infantilize yourself because you don't have to deal with, like, when you make yourself a pet, when you turn yourself from being a threat, right? You turn yourself into this like safe zone for people. You don't have to worry about the generational violence of being seen as hypersexual just because you're black, right?
And that's so true. That's so true. I know she's speaking from like a more plus size standpoint, but when like I found myself doing this several times, leaning into this with people at my high school when I was living in Connecticut with my family, is that I don't want to be seen as an aggressor. I don't want to be seen as inappropriate. I don't want to be seen as grown. So I'd even change like the inflection of my voice. I'd even like sound way more high pitched and innocent and all of that. But also, I'd argue that I was also like groomed and trained to like, I was trained like a little literal pet. I was not allowed to have an opinion without like getting the shit beat out of me. So, like, you know, like me speaking up for myself was seen as disrespect. And so it got harder and harder when I addressed conflict as an adult or as like a preteen or as a teenager. It would get very difficult for me to stand up for myself because one, I didn't know how to express myself as a kid. You know, I was came from the family of stay in a child's place. But two, going back to Huda from Love Island real quickly, when you are like the only black girl in a space of a bunch of white girls or like non-black girls who want to pull one over on you or want to like demean you in any way and you stand up for yourself, 9 times out of 10 they do the Huda crash out. 9 times out of 10 they do the Huda crash out and the gaslighting. 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10. I actually have a really interesting story time about like how this actually played out in a sleepover when I was 9 years old. I'm not gonna tell it now. I'm probably gonna save it for next week. But yeah, you lean into that infantilization, right? Because you are so afraid of being seen as an aggressor, right? And if you don't lean into that infantilization, I also see that people like shove us. They shove us into like the mammy trope. You know what I mean? Because there's the mammy, the Jezebel, and the Sapphire. So like the mammy trope of like, let me just take care of everybody, or let me be like the all wise black woman that's gonna help you through your problems and encourage you and go get them, baby. You know what I mean? I see that at a young age, and I think a lot of kids growing up knew that I wasn't that type of girl. Like you weren't gonna go to me for like some empowering Lizzo-esque girl boss type of advice, like go get him, girl. You know what I mean? Like, like right, like you weren't gonna go to me for that. And so, oh no, my light. And so, I feel like interacting with white kids in high school and in elementary school was like a little bit weird because they didn't really know where to place me. Like I wasn't the black kids that had swag. And I was a very much so a nerdy girl, nerdy alt girl before I even knew I was like a nerdy alt girl, right? And you know, you couldn't put me in like the strong, empowered black woman willing to get you through everything type box. Like it just wouldn't happen. Like you couldn't do that for me. Because I was a little softy and I was very sensitive. I'd actually get made fun of for being too sensitive. So anyway, moving on.
Right? You don't have to worry about the church slut shaming you or your family slut shaming you because you have turned yourself into this like childlike safe zone, even if that's the antithesis of who you really are on the inside. And this dissatisfaction with how the world views you, or the lack of like, I don't know, like sexual attraction that people demonstrate towards you is as a direct result of how you have muted yourself on purpose.
And can I also talk about like how you get slut shamed at the church, or how you get slut shamed at at like family functions for just existing? Any any grown adult that is trying to slut shame their child for like whatever they're wearing is a weirdo. there's a conversation you can have about, okay, so this is inappropriate, you probably shouldn't wear it. But then there's a completely different conversation about, like, why do you look like a hooker on the street? Why do you look like a streetwalker? Why do you look like this? Why do you look like that? You know, that's when it gets weird, when you start like putting those pressures on your child to be like chaste and modest, because it starts getting to a point, and like we're seeing it now, that no matter what you do as a woman, especially as a black woman, or no matter what you do, people are going to perceive you how they're going to perceive you, especially men. Like, there's only so much covering up, there's only so much code switching, there's only so much, you know, presenting yourself as cute and innocent and super hyper femme, before we have to have a conversation about, well, wait a minute, why do black women, why do we have to constantly keep code switching and keep covering ourselves up and keep, you know, shrinking ourselves in order to, for protection from weirdos who feel entitled to our bodies? Even with the grape conversation that people have, because we're going back to the dumb take of, well, if you don't want to get assaulted, why don't you just stop wearing inappropriate clothes? And it's like, bro, you know why, because it's never about the clothes with rapists and assaulters. It's about control and power. Otherwise, why would rapists go for like 3-year-old kids? Like, why would pedophiles try and assault 1-year-olds? Like, let's just be honest here. Let's be for real. 5-year-olds. Are you gonna say that the 5-year-old asked for it? And some folks will. Some folks will say that the 5-year-old and the 12-year-old asked for it. They did the same thing with like R. Kelly during his trial. I remember very clearly the 14-year-old girl that there was a video in trial. Like, that's what sends me. There was a video in a trial that everybody watched of him releasing himself on a 14-year-old girl. And back in like 2003, when that trial was going on and that shit was happening, do you know what the women, not the men, but the women in my family at least, were saying about that 14-year-old girl? Oh, well, she's fast for her age. Some girls are just really fast for their age. She should know better. She should know better. Fast little girl. And I'm just like, she's 14. Someone must have taught her how to do that. Where are the parents? We put so much blame on everybody but the perpetrator of the crime. And then we allowed R. Kelly to just exist for like 10 years on his nonsense. Just like be the, like, what did Jaguar Wright say? Like the first co-signed PDF file in Hollywood where everyone was just okay with it. Video footage. And then it didn't take until like 10 to 25 girls coming out, and quite frankly, when his money ran dry, like, let's just be honest, and he couldn't pay anybody off anymore, for him to be put up under the jail. You know, and even to this day, because he was philandering around with minors, even to this day, people will still look at the whole R. Kelly situation and be like, well, those girls, they were kind of fast. Those parents knew what they were putting their girls into. Okay, so then shift the blame on the parents. Like, some things just really irritate me, where it should be a non-negotiable, well, let's see both sides of the situation. Like, there's one side that's wrong, and then there's another side that's wrong. Like, there's no two sides of the situation. No. You're co-signing PDF files. You're complicit. Like, and so, like, this mindset that she's talking about of, like, shrinking yourself and code switching and feeling like you have to present yourself a certain way so that you don't get slut-shamed by your family, so that you don't get slut-shamed by the church, establishments that are supposed to be in the business of protecting you, protecting, you know, black women. Like, you start to shrink yourself more. You start to cover up more. You start to protect yourself more. I don't really tell a lot of people this, but, like, I have boobs. Like, I have boobs, like, but I don't wear them out a lot. And one of the reasons why I don't wear them out a lot is because of the negative connotations. I've heard about my chest size when I was younger and into adulthood. So I would cover them out a lot in public. Now, when I was a spicy creator, the titties were out. Not gonna lie. The titties were out. That was just the name of the business. But like every day, I would not wear my boobs out. Even to this day, I still feel a little uncomfortable wearing my boobs out, because of just how I was conditioned as at a young age. Like, you know, you have to go out of the house wearing a bra. You can't go out of the house not wearing one. Nowadays, you know, I do wear my bra now because it's just more comfortable. Like, I get sweaty now, but like back then, it would just be like, you have to cover your chest. People can't see you in that way, you know, and I'd be so self-conscious about it. And so, like, most of my clothes are not V-neck or deep cut or any of that. And now I just wear baggy t-shirts. But that all stems from, like, childhood trauma of being told that I have to wear a bra, that I can't go out of the house without wearing a bra, that if I don't wear a bra, I'm like a slut or something, or inappropriate, or a fast-tailed girl. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you instill these things, and then you bring them into your adulthood. And then when you're finally ready to be more confident or more sure of yourself, you don't have that because you've kind of been stifled growing up.
As a like coping mechanism, as a safety mechanism. And I'm not like saying that it's wrong or whatever, but I'm saying that that is the truth of what it is, especially if you've grown up in suburban situations, churchy situations, whatever, where you've just been shamed for existing. You breathe good as a Black girl, especially a plus size Black girl. You are shamed, and everybody assumes that you're going to be a harlot with 50,000 kids, just out here, just wilding, just unsafe. And so the trend for people is to try to prove that wrong by being the direct opposite, but at the expense of your own self-expression. So to me, this whole cutie patootie thing is just yourself. You're negging yourself, and you're hiding. You are not cute. You are hiding. Puppies are cute. Bunnies are cute. Little kids are cute. Gummy bears are cute. Stuffed animals are cute. You're a grown woman who's hiding.
So I agree with her. I agree. However, there are some girls. There are some girls who are just naturally cute in the face. Like, they're just naturally cute girls. I don't know how to put it. Like, they just have a cute round face, and it, you know, like. But then there are some girls who do hide. Like, they infantilize themselves because the world won't infantilize us first. So we have to do whatever we can to be perceived as innocent. And it's so sad and so systemic, because it's not just like men who sit and sexualize ourselves, or men who see us as like aggressors or whatever. It's women too who enforce it, and it's just very unfortunate. So I did want to share that, but also at the same time, shout out to the cute girls with the cute round faces. You can do Asian makeup very, very well with a cute round face. It doesn't really check when you have like a lot of angles. All right, I am going to start. They still putting money on his books? What? Cole, are you serious? Man. Watch him be out in like 2 years. I'll be so annoyed. Like, girl, come on. Come on. Please. Yeah, but you know, we live in a society, and if you want, I can be real for a second. I've gotten to the point where I think a lot of women are in like their misandrous era, just of like how men have been acting lately. And I'm just kind of in my like over it era. Like it's like I'm making a choice to like opt out. Like, I know we live in a society. I know we live in a patriarchal structure, you know. I know that this structure that is patriarchal still benefits men more than it benefits women, but also men suffer in this patriarchal structure in the same way that everybody else does. They just get more benefits, you know what I mean? Like, they still suffer when they don't honor the constructs of patriarchy, right, in any way, shape, or form. But they choose to cling onto it because they know that there is benefits from it. Although I do see those benefits dwindling in the next like decade or so with how things are progressing. And I've moved past like hating men aggressively and being like all men suck, because there's nothing I can really do about it now. One, I still, there's a shred of empathy that I have about like men who struggle, black boys who still get abused and whatnot, or black boys who get adultified at a young age. But then also at the same time, I'm just like, those boys who get like, abused at a young age, but then like they go from boys to men, and then they're indoctrinated into that mindset, and boys at a younger and younger age are constantly getting indoctrinated into this like toxic masculine mindset that I thought we were changing in the 2010s, but we just went back to it aggressively. And now I'm at the point in my life where I'm just opting out. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to engage in it. I'm low key, y'all. I'm going through it a little bit, like, because I feel like my whole life has been built up and propped up based off of like a patriarchal structure, and even trickling into like my personal beliefs and my faith, and seeing how that has been low key a lie. Sorry, anybody who's like a Christian here. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to shit on your religion. I'm going through my own shit, okay? Like, sorry, but like, just seeing how many people who align themselves with God and Jesus Christ co-sign the debauchery that's going on right now in America. Evangelists, co-signing that nonsense. Black churches co-signing that nonsense. The constructs of the black church, the black megachurch. And even if it's not a black megachurch, even like smaller churches. And this is not me talking about like God, right? I'm talking about like the organized religion aspect of it. Just these like small, big churches used to control people and still ask for money and support. You know what I mean? It's just so it's so devastating to think about, like, how much I've been indoctrinated in my life, how much other people have been indoctrinated in their own life, and how much like women have been told that your standard has to align with the patriarchal structure. And like, at this point, I am just tired. And so I'm past like the man hating. I never really had a man hating phase, you know what I mean? But like, I'm just like, all right, well, I'm exiting stage left. Like, that's where I'm at with it. Like, going over here, I can't deal with it anymore. Like, I'm just opting out. I mentioned this yesterday, but I decided that I don't want kids. I did. And I also decided that I don't want to be married. Ooh. Like, I just don't see how there's any benefits as a woman to be married or have children. And that's just my opinion, Don't let me stifle your dreams. Shout out to my married couples. All right, I'll be right back. I actually have to get some water. I'm thirsty. I've been talking too much. Okay, I am back. I'm back. I like to look at the skins that they have. There was a Cloaking Dagger skin that I really liked. Yeah, this one is really pretty. I want to look at it again because I don't have it. I wish that Cloak had more of a costume. Because in the background, he's just like a floating orb. He doesn't really have a body like that. You know what I mean? Let me preview, please. Okay, thank you. Jeez. Yeah, this is really pretty. I like her braids. Her braids look Scandinavian. And see, look at how he's just like an orb in the background, just floating. He has no body. No body. They should change that. I like his dreads. His dreads are cool. I wonder if you have special abilities. I would love this skin. Because I play them all the time, so... Do they have special emotes in game? Oh, no. Oh, no, I don't want to... Go back to this. Okay. I know, Psylocke had emotes in the game. I guess they don't have it. This is pretty. All right, I'm out of here. Okay, let's play some games.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Yeah, sleepy. Cloak and Dagger.
Cloak and Dagger. We are hope and fear.
I wonder if they're gonna put me up against bots.
People are always afraid of time, but they just don't know him.
You cannot simply
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Oh no.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Let's get that vehicle to its destination.
Yeah, that's giving real people. That's not giving
Saving the universe.
no. It's giving bots a little bit. It's always hard to tell.
Feeling stronger already.
fucking Hulk. I hate him. I always wonder what happened to that Cloak and Dagger series. And okay, here we go. There you go. Yay, we're pushing. Yay. It's probably like one of the best ults out of this game. I like Cloak and Dagger's ult. Especially for maps like this one. Needs strategists. Who needs a strategist? Overtime. I wish I had my ult. It doesn't look like we're gonna win this one. Yeah. No.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
So I can tell that game wasn't a bot game. They were very aggy from the beginning.
The right heroes could make all the difference. We are close.
Oh hey, look at us.
30 seconds. Stay strong.
I wonder if we'll ever see Cloak and Dagger in the Marvel movies. They had a show, but I have yet to see them in the movies. Where are we going? Why did I follow this man? This might not have been the smartest decision.
4, 3,
I don't need to be here.
1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Where's Groot? I need to protect Groot. I feel like we're gonna get bots. Okay. What we got going on here? Wait, hold on. Hold on. How did that happen? Why are there two cloak and daggers? Oh, he's duplicating me. Okay. I was about to say. Jesus.
My time to shine. There's still a chance to stop them.
Here we go. There we go. No. I don't like this map. I don't like it. need to find a new game. My partner says I should play Resident Evil, but I don't like playing horror games. I don't think I've gotten there yet. I hear Alan Wake is good though. I might play the Batman games again. After reading Batman the Imposter, or reading it right now, I don't know, I feel like I want to play a Batman game. Those were probably the best games that I've played. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite games to play. And it'd be cool playing it on PC. There was also Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. I've always wanted to play that game. Never could when I was younger because I had a busted up laptop. Now I have like a really good quality PC setup, so I should play it on here. I should play Spider-Man games and the Batman games. They're all pretty good games to play.
Time I create equilibrium. Make it disturbed. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
This is the diva I was talking about yesterday. Like this spider character. Who is she? Spider Zero? Like who is she? And she's just here in the midst of all the battle. Okay. Bye. She's so cute to me. Spider-Man has too much shit going on. I bet they're putting me against bots because I've lost both games to boost my morale. I wonder if there's a setting where they don't put me against bots in non-competitive games.
I'm one bug the system couldn't beat.
You're halfway there. Keep going. Why is this getting bigger than my This place and the Master Weaver must be protected.
Where's our tank?
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Wait, Thor's our tank? Okay. Oh, okay. These are bots. They're not playing as aggressive. They're here to boost morale. Yeah, we are playing against bots. What is even this Hella doing? Yeah. Yeah, this is a bot game. Well, I guess this is good practice.
You're headed straight for the Shrine of the Weaver.
Y'all should let me know what type of games you want to see me play. What if we lose to bots? That would be funny. Oh no, I died. Okay. I'm gonna change my hero up. Damn it. Oh, thanks.
Second chance is over.
No worries, I've got your back.
All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna play one more game and then I'm gonna head out because I'm a little tired. And I will see you guys next week. A little bit more prepared. Ooh. Next week is Labor Day weekend. So that's gonna be exciting. Whoa, what the hell? Jesus, what was that? What was that? Okay, so these aren't bots. I know for a fact these aren't bots. They're playing too aggressive. Ah!
family until the end. There's still a chance to stop them. Better stop that vehicle.
Someone's leaving games. Jesus.
I'm doing this.
Too many of them. You've got trouble.
Shit. Where is everybody? Oh shit, yeah, we're not gonna win this one. Shit, that was aimed poorly. Yeah, that was bad. Okay, and with that said, we did not have a good Marvel's Day today. It's okay. With that said, I'm probably gonna head off. It's disheveled. I'm probably gonna head off for today. And next week I'm gonna come more prepared, like way more prepared and way with more content, I guess. I'm still working on this big deck that I want to talk about. But yeah, it's been very great playing with you guys and having you guys be a part of my live and listen to me yap. Thank you so much for supporting me. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like what you see, and I will see you all next week. And let me know what games you want to see me play, because I get very silent and focused during Marvel Rivals. So maybe I should play like a Batman game or Spider-Man. Don't really want to play a horror game yet. I don't think I'm ready. It's too immersive, But just let me know what type of games you want to see me play. I'm going to end my stream here, and take care, guys. See you later. Bye.